Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm bringing you a little bit different thing today, but I wanted to do a little, just kind of talk about the new moves and just kind of go through them and just kind of give what I think on. I probably won't go through all of them, but I'll try and go through as many as I can, or at least ones that I think are really, really interesting, or at least most usable, maybe. So yeah, let's just jump in so this doesn't take too long. So you can see there's quite a few new moves added. Obviously there's new G-Max moves, so those are Pokemon specific. And then there's 3 signature moves, Urshifu's both forms moves, and then the new mythical Pokemon, I think it was Zarude, something like that. But what's really cool is they added a bunch of new tutor moves. And like they're just brand new moves too. So all of these here, I guess you can't see it. There we go. Yeah, so all of these here are new moves, and then these are the signature moves. So I just kind of wanted to go through some of them and talk about what I think, and I think they're all really cool, is what they are, because they all have like really unique effects or just like kind of new stuff going on. Yeah, so let's just go down the list here. So you got Expanding Force, a psychic type move, base 80 power, user attacks a target with a psychic power. So that's pretty straightforward. But then the second effect is the move's power goes up and doubles and damages all opposing Pokemon when psychic trains up, pretty much. And the power I think is 1.5 times. So we've seen it already being used on ladder. But this is a really cool move for psychic types, in particular Indeedee, both male and female, because they auto set up Psychic Train, right? And now they have a spread psychic move that's boosted by Psychic Train and gets like train damage, or gets boosted from the secondary effect of the move. So it can be a really strong spread move, and people are like building teams around this. Excuse me. Things like Indeedee male plus Alakazam, like that's a big damage. Or you can run it on your like Hatterene with your Indeedee and then have them both run Expanding Force, so you set up Trick Room and then just spam Expanding Force. So that's a really cool move, I think. And even though it's 10 points weaker than Psychic, it's probably worth considering running over Psychic, even just on a Psychic type in general. Because if you Dynamax instead of Train, and then after your Dynamax you get to do that, or just if someone else sets up Psychic Train for you. So I think that's really worth considering, even just over Psychic in general. But especially on Indeedee, you should probably be running Expanding Force if you're using Indeedee. And boy, man, I'll tell you what, some of these moves, if Tapus get them, they're gonna be like more powerful than they already are. And Tapu Lele, if Tapu Lele gets this move, like, that's scary. That's super scary. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So yeah, Expanding Force might be like definitely one of the more relevant ones, and I think it's a really cool move. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be too overpowered, but I feel like it should be fine in my mind. But yeah, just watch out for it. Second is Steel Roller, so a physical steel move with 130 base power, which is pretty impressive. So the user attacks while destroying the terrain. This move fails when the ground hasn't turned into a train. So basically what it's saying is, if there's no train, it won't work. If there's a train, then it'll work, but it gets rid of the train, so then it won't work after that. So you gotta obviously use it you gotta be able to use it when you have trains. So you might put it on a Pokemon that's paired up with something that can set up terrain, if you don't mind getting rid of the train, or as an answer to terrain, like you want to get rid of terrain. So, and I need to let's look at like what learns this. So Expanding Force, let's look at this really quick. Just to drop back, like just to show you, like a lot of these psychic types get it, and there's a lot of notable ones too. So almost all the psychic types get it, you can see, but Indeedee's the big one. Hatterene I think's good with it, and then yeah, all kinds of stuff. Alakazam, yeah. So even Wigglytuff gets it. That's funny. But let's look at Steel Roller real quick, because like to see what can kind of make use of it. So obviously Sand Slash. The one cool thing about running Steel Roller is if you're going to Dynamax, you get a little bit stronger Dynamax move. So you can see Sand Slash runs it. It's a bunch of weird Pokemon that have bad bad attack stat can run it. So like, I guess Wigglytuff's not terrible. Azumarill gets it, so Azumarill can run a Max Steel Spike if you're Dynamaxing it. Snorlax gets it. So what else is notable? Magnezon's a special attacker. I probably wouldn't use that on Bronzong. Ferrothorn, meh. So, yeah, Copperajah. So there's not a lot of notable Pokemon. I guess Togedemaru is kind of cool. But, yeah, not a ton of notable Pokemon. I feel like I could see this being useful either for a max move or for, like, I don't know, yeah, like if you have something that really wants to get rid of terrain. But I don't expect to see Steel Roller a lot, but I'm sure we'll see people like figure out how to utilize it. Like Delmise could be pretty strong. Like a lot of these Pokemon that get it already have a pretty strong Gyro Ball. But there is a lot of slow stuff in the format, so I could see you wanting to run something over that. I doubt it gets Sheer Force boosted. That'd be kind of crazy if it did. So, yeah. I feel like Togedemaru could be okay with it, but again, you need to have terrain up to do anything with it. So, we'll see about that. I could definitely see that becoming more common when the Tapus return. Then I could see Steel Roller getting used, potentially at least. But one cool thing is there's a lot of non-steel types that get it. Like Azumarill getting it's really interesting. But yeah, otherwise, not so sure about that one. Scale Shot. So you got 25 base power, 90 accuracy, and a dragon move that shoots 2 to 5 times in a row. This boosts the user's speed but stab but lowers its defense stat. And if I remember right, it's not for each hit. Because I think I read that somewhere. Let's look at this really quick. So, you know, typical multi-attack move, hits 2 to 5 times, can miss, just like a Rock Blast. But yeah, it says it increases stage, speed and lowers defense. I'm pretty sure it's just like after it finishes the move. That's what I read. I haven't seen that one used. But just kind of, what is it, physical? Yeah, so just kind of looking at what can use it. Gyarados. So it's anywhere from a 50 to 125 base power move after the moves. The real question is with those kind of moves, is anything with skill link learn it? Because that is usually what you want with those moves. You don't have to though. That's the one thing. So it doesn't look like anything with skill link gets it. But a lot of notable Pokemon. It's hard to imagine running it over like Dragon Claw or, I mean, you could use it over Outrage. Outrage is pretty bad. So yeah, and then there's some water types that get it. So again, I don't see this one being used. And I'm not even sure there's like a dragon type that gets skill link. So yeah, if there's a Pokemon in here that like isn't a dragon type but doesn't already have dragon coverage, but I think most of these already get access to some dragon moves. So yeah, I'm not sure about Barraskewda. That one actually could be interesting. So yeah, so another one that really cool, like a dragon type multi-attack move, but it will be curious to see if that hits any use. So personally I don't see it as something that we'll see a lot of, but the raising speed and lowering defense, I could see that might give it. That's what might give it a chance to be used, because this becomes a speed boosting move. So, and if it raised it for every hit, that would be a little busted, I feel like. So I don't know, but I don't think it does that. So then Meteor Beam, a new special rock type move, which I think is really cool because there's not a lot of special rock type moves. Base 120 power, but it's a 2-turn attack, and on that turn it's a sitting duck, boosts its special attack, which is neat, then attack. So you could try it with a power herb. I see it more as a good Z move, or not Z, max move. So let's look at that really quick. Clefable gets it, which is interesting. I guess Clefable also gets a Meteor Mash. So first of all, like, it's a special attack because you don't want anything with like low special attacks. So far Clefable. Starmie gets it. That's kind of neat. You can give it a max rock move if you need that coverage. And then Lunatone's kind of neat since it and I think it gets Power Gem too. Hyperior is not great. I mean, there's not a lot of special attacking rock types, which is why there's probably not a lot of special attacking rock moves. Power Gem's pretty much it. Colossal, okay, it gives it a Colossal a pretty strong max move, so that's kind of cool if you're doing special. Cursola can have it for coverage. Yeah, and then all the fossils can use it, but they're gonna be running physical most likely. So yeah, all right. So probably the most notable is Colossal. Yeah, Colossal, because it gives it a special stab there that can fire off a max move from it. So okay, so there is Meteor Beam. Let's see, Shell Side Arm, that's Scalarian Slowbro's signature move. I'm just kind of want to look at the Tutor ones. Misty Explosion. Basically, it's a fairy type explosion, but its power increases in Misty Terrain. I'm not quite sure how much. I want to see if it says. I don't see this one used a lot. And Explosion has been used in the past. And it increases damage at 50%. Okay. Explosion's been used in the past, or self-destruct, so you could see this come about eventually, but yeah, I don't see that one too much. Grassy Glide. This one's huge because Rillaboom gets Grassy Glide, and I've seen a lot of that, and that's a really good move to run Rillaboom. I want to show you. Yeah, so, and a lot of grass types get it. So this is definitely a good physical grass type move to run, but Rillaboom's the most notable one there. And so it's just a grass type move, but it gets +1 priority in grassy terrain. So you're giving Rillaboom a priority move, and then if like Psychic Terrain goes up, you can still use it because now it's not priority. So that's a solid move on Rillaboom for sure. Next is Rising Voltage. User attacks electric with electric voltage rising from the ground. Power doubles when the target is on electric terrain. So this one's actually really neat. I think that's really strong. Of course, you'd have to like manually get electric terrain up, whether like through the move electric terrain or by max moving. Because the only Pokemon right now that sets electric terrain is Pincurchin, and I don't see a lot of people using that. I could see people using Pincurchin to set up terrain for something else with Rising Voltage, maybe. So that's an option. But looking at it, I think most electric types will get this. Yeah, and you can see there's a lot of electric types that are getting it. Yep. Yeah, it's all electric types except for a couple things. So any special attacking electric types, Electricity, Boltund. I wish Boltund got electric terrain or electric surge instead of Pincurchin. That would have made like a slower Tapu Koko. That's what I should mention. I might run on Magnezone. That might be worth running on, is on Magnezone. That's one thing I want to say is when Tapu Koko, if they give this to Tapu Koko, that's gonna be dumb, because that's gonna be like a 140 electric move and electric train. You're probably running Life Orb. Like, yeah, that's strong. That's really strong. So I'd be shocked. That would be crazy if they give this to Koko, which wouldn't surprise me. Train Pulse. User utilizes the power of the train to attack the move's type and power changes. I think it doubles in power. So this could be a cool move, of course. So indeed he gets it. This gives you a stronger Psychic move if you want it. Is there anything else? Yeah, so that's the only terrain setter that gets it. But it could be one way to maybe like counter terrain. I haven't really looked that much into this one. Let me check that again. I think it doubles. Yeah, it doubles. So kind of like Nature Power, I believe it was. But I can't remember what Nature Power's power becomes. It might be the same. So yeah, so that one's pretty straightforward. Again, another one hard to see used, but I could definitely see people attempting to use it. Although I'm pretty sure Nature Power is a status move. This one is actually just a straight attacking move. So anyway, Skitter Smack, base 70 bug move, 90 power, lowers target special attack stat. So that's kind of a cool physical bug move that lowers special attack, which I could see that being pretty useful. Like, actually, if Durant gets it, I'd probably consider that over X-Scissor. Does get it, because some people use X-Scissor or First Impression So obviously when you Dynamax, you're still getting the special attack drop. But then if you're not Dynamax and use it, you can get a special attack drop still, which is pretty neat. So I'd say that's pretty notable. Definitely Araquanid's notable. Oh, what else? Scorch if you want to use it. Not Volcarona. Definitely not Volcarona. Looking at physical book dice. Crocodile gets it, which is kind of neat. I don't know if it has that really has actual have a use. Gastrodon is interesting. So yeah. So I could see Durant running that. Although X-Scissor gets higher base power, like max move power. So I'd say it's usable. Durant's probably the most likely I'm gonna see using that. And maybe even try if you want to like use it to lower special attacks. Of course, it's already has poor accuracy. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, I could say, but it could also be a support move for something that. But again, there's also you could just use Struggle Bug. So maybe we'll see. Burning Jealousy, 70 base power fire move. See, leaves all opposing Pokemon that have had their stats boosted during the tournament with the burn. That's actually kind of nice for fire type. I'm guessing most fire types are gonna learn this. And then these all Pokemon. Okay, so looks like it hits. It might be a spread fire move. Burns opponents. Interesting. Yeah, this looks like this might be a spread move. It's like an accurate Heat Wave, but only base 70 power, unfortunately. But the ability to burn stuff that's boosted is kind of neat, especially with a lot of max moves running around. So like Excadrill goes for a max Quake or max Iron Head or max Steel Spike, and you get to just burn it after being able to hit it. Like that's pretty neat, I would say. So yeah, or even like a Focus Sash Durant. Like it's gonna boost itself, and then you bring down Sash, and the burn takes it out. So Burning Jealousy definitely usable. I would say so, but it looks like because it says opponent's side, so it looks like it's a spread move. Hopefully they've started fixing like mistakes on Cerebi by now. It's been what, 2 weeks, maybe something like that, week and a half. Yeah. So anyways, Lash Out, Dark type move. If your stats were lowered during the turn, power is doubled, so it bumps up to 150. This one's actually kind of neat because Dragapult typically when it Dynamaxes is going to lower your stats, and so this thing could potentially allow maybe certain Pokemon to KO Dragapult, a Dynamax Dragapult with that double power. But this one was what, physical? Yeah. So definitely could see this being used by quite a few things, honestly, like Tyranitar. I'd use it on Tyranitar over Crunch. It's only 5 power less. I'd definitely use it because, like, imagine like you get Intimidated and now you get this stronger move at least. So it kind of makes up for the Intimidate. I'm assuming Intimidate would affect it because that would count as the turn. Linoon, so that means Obstagoon, using it. Drapion if you ever use it. Weavile, perhaps. Yeah, I could see that being like a decent Intimidate counter. Scrafty is kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, Incineroar gets it. That's neat. The Throat Chop's also really good, but that's kind of cool, especially because that's like Intimidate bait. So but that's key. So like if Intimidate, getting Intimidated causes this to power up, that totally is worth using, I think. So that one you have to double check. I haven't done a ton of research in these. I'm just kind of giving my like instant analysis on these. Okay, next up, trying to get through these as quickly as I can. I think we're almost there. So Poltergeist, this one's actually really good. I really like Poltergeist because it gives a lot of physical attacking ghost types a new physical ghost move, and it's really strong. Base 110, 90 accuracy. That's pretty good accuracy for a base 110 move. There is one downside to it. The target has to hold an item. It fails if the target doesn't have an item. Fortunately, most Pokemon have an item, but if that item's been used up, say like, you know, a seeded Drift Bloom with a Psychic Seed, now you can't hit that Drift Bloom and knock it out. So that kind of sucks. But still, a really cool move. And it also, one really useful thing is it reveals the item on the Pokemon. So when you use it, it reveals the item and then attacks. So that's really cool. So you can get information that way as well. And again, just like a strong physical ghost move, that's huge for a lot of Pokemon. And let me show you. Yeah, let me like show you that real quick. Marowak's a big one. I've tried that, and it gives a stronger. It gives a little bit stronger max move because it's 140. So yeah, Marowak gets it, which is really good because that thing already hits like a truck with Thick Club. So the Marowak's a good one to run it. Let's see. Cofagrigus. No, you'd use the other one. Runerigus. That's it. See, Golurk. That's big for Golurk. Definitely. Trevenant and Gourgeist. That's really good for them. They don't have to rely on Shadow Claw or Phantom Force. Decidueye is cool, but I never really see Decidueye. Delmise is cool. Again, doesn't have to rely on Shadow Claw or Phantom Force. And I'm really glad they didn't get to Dragapult. Like, really glad. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, so those are kind of the few Pokemon. I think Marowak's the biggest. Trevenant and Gourgeist are really good because I think those are sometimes underrated. At least Trevenant's really underrated, but Gourgeist is kind of neat too. Golurk, if that ever gets used, now has a good move there. So yeah, I think that one's really cool. I really like that move. So okay, let's go back and keep working our way. Almost there. Corrosive Gas. Uses surrounds everything. With highly acidic acid, melts away hold item. So this one seems pretty good. It says selected target, but I feel like it hits the whole field, so that might be wrong. Because we looked it up on Bulbapedia and it said whole field, but so either it melts away the target's item, or yeah, I would say it does that. So that could be kind of cool, using it with Pokemon that don't care about their items. But getting rid of opposing Pokemon item is pretty neat. I don't think anything with Prankster gets it. And this is wrong too. I'm pretty sure it's a status move, not a special move. It seems kind of weird. Maybe kind of go think with Prankster get it. But you do get a bunch of a fast thing, 2 fast things that get it. So distribution is pretty limited. So I'm not super sure about this one. Kind of a cool move though. So like, I guess you can do Chlorophyll Vileplume. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not super sure about this one. I think it's a cool idea, but I just don't know if there's anything that's really going to use it right off the bat. But I still think cool move. Coaching, this is a great one. Coaches its ally Pokemon, boosting attack and defense. So kind of like basically like a helping hand, but with a defense boost. And it just raises the... Oh, and it raises itself. So this is actually a cool move. Yeah, this could definitely be a cool move. Like... A lot of Pokemon get it, if I understand correctly. Yeah, mostly fighting types. But like Urshifu, I think could potentially be pretty good. Cinderace maybe. It's a fast Pokemon. It's because it's basically like a bulk up, but you're also not only you're bulking up, but you're bulking up your other Pokemon. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like you don't need like a support Pokemon to help it set up. Just have an offensive Pokemon that is a threat while it attacks. Your other Pokemon sets up to become a threat next turn. So yeah, that could be pretty good. I think coaching's a really good cool move to try out. It's just a matter of like what to use it on. I've definitely seen Riolu using it because Riolu gets Prankster, and yeah, it's a status move, so it gets the Prankster boost. So yeah, I'd be really curious to see. I could see some fast stuff going for it to boost, like Hawlucha. Maybe like a Psychic Seed and no, not Indeedee. Maybe Hawlucha. I would use that with like a physical Koko when we get Koko, but Rillaboom is an option. Yeah, so I think that's a cool move. I'll be really curious to see what people do. Cinderace getting it, fast Pokemon using it, and have a partner next to it. So I think yeah, there's a few Pokemon. It'd be really cool to see how this move gets used, and I'll have to try it out myself at some point because again, a lot of good Pokemon. Swift Swim, Poliwrath could always go for that too. Although you're gonna have an extra Politoed that won't be physical. But again, yeah, I think it's a cool idea. Definitely a cool idea. So try that one out. Flip Turn. I really like the idea of Flip Turn. Not super excited about its distribution. I love moves like Volt Switch and U-Turn. And now that there's a Water type move, it's 10 points weaker, but I need a water type technician, Pokemon technician that uses this. That would be sick. But yeah, so basically it attacks and then goes into the party and something else comes out. So Volt Switch, U-turn. Distribution's not fantastic. Not a lot of good physical attackers get it. But nonetheless, I would still use it on a special attacker if I really wanted to. Barraskewda is the most notable that can make use of it. I think in singles, that makes Barraskewda really cool. Let's see, and then yeah, there's a few Pokemon I would definitely consider it because I wouldn't use it as a damage move. It's used as a pivot move. So, like Primarina, Dragalge. I don't think I'd use it on Melodic. Sharpedo could be kind of cool with it. Though you are giving for speed boost. Kingdra potentially. Kingdra could be kind of cool, especially if you're on. I mean, you don't have to run a physical Kingdra, but you could. And then you have that with Swift Swim, so it gives you a really fast pivot if need be. Which, you know, puts on a lot of pressure. Sometimes it's better to just flip turn. So I might have to try that in the future. You know, fast Storm moves it fast. Same with Golduck, same thing as Kingdra. Maybe not so much Blastoise. I'm really disappointed this didn't go. Gyarados didn't get flip turn. That would have made it such a cool like pivot intimidator, a lot like Incineroar and Landorus Therian in the past. So I'm sad Gyarados didn't get it. I'd run like an AV Gyarados with that, like real fast. So there's a few Pokemon. This is a move I could definitely see getting some use. It just depends like how much. I think the most significant use of anything will be Barraskewda and singles with it. But I am curious. I feel like Kingdra could be kind of cool. Except you might have to give up a move or something. Maybe run like an Assault Vest set. I don't know yet. You kind of go if Ludicolo got it, but I'll also be it. But that's a move. That's one of the more interesting moves to me, and I would like to try and work that one out. Triple Axle, consecutive 3-kick attack is more powerful with each successful hit. So this is a lot like Triple Kick, which is Hitmontop gets that move. I'm not quite sure if it's Hitmontop's signature move, but either way, it's a base 120 attack because it's 20, 40, 60, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'll add it up. It's base 120 Ice type, physical Ice type move. So really powerful physical Ice type move. As far as what can use it, that's a good question. Let's see. Sandslash could be a good user because it's a physical attacker and you get the Slush Rust stuff. That's probably why I've probably seen a couple teams. Hitmontop gets it. That's kind of cool. Sneasel, so that means Weavile. So that's making Weavile a better user. Yeah, giving it a stronger Ice type move. Some Pokemon getting it for coverage, but they probably already get Ice Punch anyways. Serena getting it. That's kind of... Oh, you know, that makes sense because it's like a kicking Pokemon. That's kind of cool. It gives it Ice type coverage for Serena. There's another Pokemon that could be kind of neat. I haven't used Serena much, but I should try it. So yeah, I think Weavile is probably the biggest one, and maybe Sandslash if you like for a Hail team. But just for sure, Weavile getting a stronger Ice type move. So yeah, that's Triple Axle. A couple more here. We got Dual Wing Beat. Not anything too crazy. So a base 80 power physical flying type move with 90 accuracy. So it hits twice in a row. So that's nothing special because there's already Brave Bird, and yeah, like if you don't want to run Brave Bird, you can run something like this. Or if like you want the 2-hit move to get around something like a Sash, like you can get around Sash Butterfree with this, which is kind of cool. So, but as far as like what gets it, there's one notable Pokemon in my mind. We'll get to that in a second. But there's quite a few. Obviously, most flying types looks like they're getting it. Like Corviknight could use it. Talonflame, because it doesn't take the recoil. But there's other... You can always run Acrobatics. Somehow get rid of your item. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can utilize it if you don't want to run Brave Bird. I'm just also looking at physical attackers that maybe wanted the flying coverage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not there. The one Pokemon that is most interesting is Scyther because of Technician. So it ends up becoming 120 power which is stronger, obviously, or just as strong as Brave Bird without the recoil. So trying out Scyther with it could be kind of neat. That's probably the most interesting Pokemon that gets it. Or maybe if there's a flying type that doesn't get Brave Bird that's a physical attacker, which I'm not super aware of any. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Hawlucha gets Brave Bird now, but you just run Acrobatics, really. So yeah, that's that. Scyther's the most interesting one with that, which is pretty neat. And then the last one here, Scorching Sands. This is cool. It's basically a ground type move that can burn. So think of Scald, but a little weaker, and a ground type. But what's super cool is that Charizard gets it. So Charizard has ground coverage now, which is really great for hitting like Incineroar. So that, I like that. So Charizard's totally worth running because it gives it a max quake, 120 power max quake. I think that's really, really useful. If you use Ninetales, you get ground coverage on Ninetales now. Kind of cool that they gave it to fire types, not just ground types. So fire types are getting some ground coverage. So like, certain fire types being able to hit Heatran when Heatran comes back, that'll be actually huge. So it's almost like this is kind of replacing Hidden Power Ground for some Pokemon. So yeah, like that. That's super good to have that. Dugtrio, no. Arcanine, maybe. Not really Rapidash. No, because remember this is special attacking, which a lot of these aren't going to use. Torkoal gets it. Torkoal already gets Earth Power, but you could consider Scorching Sands for burn chances. That's totally worth using. Flygon already gets Earth Power. I would probably stick to that because its special attack's only 80 anyways if you use a special attacking set. Claydol maybe. Again, Earth Power. Excadrill, Rhyperior, don't use it. Crocodile, don't use it. Don't use it. Incineroar, wouldn't use it. Earth Power. Cinderace, yeah, it just doesn't look really good. I think with what we have, the most three notable Pokemon are Ninetales, Torkoal, and Charizard. So yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much all of them. I probably missed some stuff I could have said, but again, I'm only kind of going off what I'm reading and kind of my own ideas and what I've seen. And so far, I've seen a lot of Expanding Force, a lot of Grassy Glide. I've seen a little bit of Rising Voltage. Definitely seen Poltergeist. And that's about the extent I've seen. I haven't actually seen coaching yet, but I know of people or other teams that might be trying to use it, like a coaching Riolu. But coaching definitely has potential, I think, and so does Flip Turn if the right Pokemon have it. So yeah, that'll pretty much do it. Just to talk about that. If there's anything else you guys want to see besides just Pokemon, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this out to you guys and then I'll try and work on another Pokemon guide and just need to decide what to run. So okay, guys, that will be it. This will this went a little bit longer, but I'm not surprised. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.